Everybody is so bored while stuck inside because of COVID-19 that I just got an FF.net alert that a fic from 2009 I was following updated with a new chapter for the first time in 5 years. But that's the book. That's what the book is about. Snowflake students claim Frankenstein's monster was misunderstood and is in fact a victim. Victor Frankenstein. I've created life, but I refuse to put any effort into helping that life develop. I won't teach him, love him, or defend him, even though I forced him into existence with a fully operational adult brain. Lol. Peace. B. The monster. I'm eloquent baby. Boomers. He's not the victim, he's the monster. An ironic parallel considering the idea of tough love parenting that plenty of boomers like to use. If they buy into the idea that their kids just have to toughen up and face the real world without guidance or emotional support, I'm sure it does scare them to read a story where someone who wasn't given any support began to resent their creator and turn on them. It's like that post that's like, knowledge is knowing that Frankenstein is the doctor, wisdom is knowing that Frankenstein is the monster. Like, the whole point of the post is that Frankenstein's monster is a victim of Victor Frankenstein's own monstrosity. Mary Shelley did not lose her virginity on her mother's grave, just for people to misunderstand her best known work over a century later. 90% of CFOs say business would return to normal if the current situation were to end immediately. 90% of people getting chased by hungry lions say life would return to normal if lions were to stop chasing them immediately. Hey guys, remember when all the men went to war and factories had no choice but to let women into the workforce, and then when the war ended and all the men came back and said, alright ladies, back in the kitchen, all the women who suddenly knew what financial freedom and personal autonomy felt like went F you, and now we are allowed to own money and property? Remember that. If you shame girls about their breast size, I will push you into traffic. Who's flat now? Mystic Aquarium is also letting its animals visit each other during this time of great boredom. Get you a partner who looks at you like this sea lion looks at this tegu, with abject horror. At 8:30 precisely, the frogs beyond the hills scream. I didn't mean to make this so ominous. I meant literally, at 8:30 every day from spring to autumn, frogs in the woods over yonder hills all yell in unison, usually for about 20 to 30 minutes. That didn't really make it less ominous. My fav thing about Tumblr is when an 18-year-old and 17-year-old are fighting and all the 17-year-old's friends are like, stop harassing a minor. I mean, one is a child and the other is a grown-ass adult, so I don't know what OP is trying to say. I too remember the day when I woke up, no longer a swaddled and innocent 17-year-old babe, but a grizzled and aged 18-year-old with an ex-wife, 3 children, and a mortgage. New aesthetic. Wrestlers photoshopped over Lisa Frank stickers. My therapist asked me what I thought my abusive ex was up to nowadays, and apparently, the F do I know, and the F do I care, is the right answer. Why did this get so many notes? Because we are proud of you. If no art makes you feel anything, make your own art, and feel something, is too raw of a line to have come from a Jenna Marbles video of her painting a rainbow/polka dot seahorse, saying it's seahorse time on a denim jacket. Takes off my leather jacket to reveal a second secret leather jacket underneath. You mean skin? What an absolutely terrifying addition to my post. Thank you. Heens. Need a gift idea? Merry Christmas. Here's your fking ketchup. Marijuana in space. NASA discovers THC on meteorite fragment. A team of astrophysicists at the University of Hawaii have created somewhat of a stir within the scientific community after the discovery of trace amounts of danket space weed. This is why aliens ain't contact us yet. Cause they hires F. I would like to point out that sneezing into your elbow and washing your hands, soaping for 20 seconds, and rinsing in warm water is something everyone should be doing all the time as part of basic hygiene, and not just when a global pandemic is happening. After multiple hand washing discussions with my coworkers, I've decided I'm never shaking hands again. This pandemic is revealing how disgusting people's habits are, and it's giving me more anxiety. If celebrities replied to paparazzi, taking pictures of them, the way Grant Gustin does, this world would be a funnier place. What's the weirdest thing about university? How nothing is surprising or abnormal. Like, you can be sitting in your kitchen at 2 AM, eating pasta sauce out of a jar with a spoon, and the only thing you think is, this is really tasty. I wonder what it would be like, spread on toast. Or going into the library and seeing someone sat at a computer wrapped in a duvet and thinking, that's a genius idea. Or seeing someone sitting in a lecture with a 2-pint bottle of milk, just swigging from it and just being jealous. Literally anything goes. No one is gonna question your habits because guaranteed they will have done something equally bizarre. I have nothing to wear equals I can't find the 5 shirts I wear under the piles of clothes I never wear but refuse to get rid of. Hide and seek is such a shamelessly horny game. I'm surprised so few adults seem to ever engage in it. Do I even want to know why you would say hide and seek is horny? What, you mean you wouldn't wanna get hunted down like a wild animal and get roughly f***ed once they catch you? Who taught you how to play hide and seek first? Oh, I see. It used to be, Emily, what's the point of a medieval history degree? But now that we are all suddenly plague anchorites, you become knocking at my door. I have the opposite problem, where I got a degree in historical epidemiology, and literally nobody will listen to me, despite a fascinatingly accurate knowledge on how mass hysteria is a contributing factor, on top of all the rest of the spread and conflation of disease. When I was little, I wanted to be Italian really badly, because I loved the movie Cars, and specifically had a crush on this fucking thing, which doesn't speak English at all. All its lines are in Italian, and its name is Guido, and everyone knew I was obsessed with Italy in elementary school, but they didn't know why, because I, even as a young autistic child, had the sense to know this was a rightfully so, highly mockable thing. So I would read about cars on IMDb, and then one day someone posted a crack fic on the message boards there, and it was about this guy getting drunk and beating his wife, and it snapped me out of my fugue long enough to realize how absurd wanting to be Italian was. But then, it made me cry really hard, and my parents were like, hey, what the F? And I didn't have the chutzpah to admit anything, so I told them I saw a naked lady online, and then they went into the computer and found all the weird South Park MIDI songs I downloaded on LimeWire, and I thought they were literally going to kill me for about 2 weeks. The reason I was downloading South Park episodes and songs on LimeWire and Frostwire was because I was also obsessed with Kenny McCormick, and for school we had to make a shitty little website about a world issue, so I found this free platform that doesn't exist anymore, but it was like a horrible little Wix site from the mid-aughts, and we based my group's theme on global warming. But when we were done with it, I reproposed it as a personal site, and lied about being a voluptuous blonde 19-year-old woman who worked at a fictitious restaurant called The Lunchbox, and I just wrote about how obsessed I was with Kenny McCormick. And my sister found it, and was like, what the F is wrong with you? But she never told my parents. She also found this 80-page story I was writing about Buddy the Elf, and all my weird skater rocks, breaking into the Moulin Rouge, and at one point, I was sick of Buddy, so I had a herd of buffalo trample him in the middle of a city, and it was very tragic, but jarring and unexpected. And she referenced a part of the story to me, and it made me so fucking paranoid that I wiped our entire family shared Packard Bell computer and got in huge fucking trouble for it. Does it bother anyone else that there are parts of your life you don't remember? You have done and said things that you don't even know about anymore. That means you don't even have the right perception of yourself. because you don't even fully know who you are. However, something that you've forgotten about could be a prominent memory in somebody else's mind. It trips me out. I really wish you hadn't said that. Today in the park I was walking my dog, and there was this other girl walking her poodle. She was really pretty and very nice. Our dogs played for a little while, and then her poodle squatted and pooped, and when she leaned down to pick it up, a dude started yelling obscenities about how he'd like to put his pee-pee in her ass. She got up and literally threw the bag of warm poop at him. It hit him in the face. I got to witness that. This might be the best day of my life. Respectfully disagree. Atomic breath is coming out of Godzilla. Divine power is clearly flowing into that young woman. Possibly for some type of anim transformation. You're so right. Exothermic reaction versus endothermic makes different energy. Hot take. I feel like this thing where people are going stir crazy and want something to do less than a week after being explicitly ordered to stay home under threat of disease and death kind of blows a hole in that. If we give people universal basic income, everybody will just be lazy and won't want to work. Talking point. When I forget to log into AO3 and I have to click proceed to see an adult fi, I actually get a kick out of it. Like, I'm an old to me queen, and my bard is apologetic. Gentle lady, PP doth touch in this next ballad, would you prefer another? And I give him a gesture of command, like, nay, you may proceed, minstrel. Bring forth the tale of PP. Why do Tinamou eggs look like that? I want to eat them whole. I'm going to swallow these like a snake. I was seized with a primal need to know what this bird looks like, and I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I'm extremely pleased with everything about this animal. Why do the women never have to take a DNA test to see if it's this? This baby came out of you, but I'm not 100% sure it's yours. Funny thing, a woman who applied for welfare after her husband left her had to supply DNA evidence he was actually the father. The results: he was definitely the father, but she wasn't the mother. Her children were removed from her custody and she was sued for fraud, even though she insisted they were her children. Turns out, she wasn't a surrogate or a kidnapper, the two most obvious explanations. She was a chimera. As an embryo, she fused at a very early stage with her twin, forming one individual. Her ovaries apparently developed from cells that had originally belonged to her vanished twin. Later on, more tests showed that while the woman's skin and hair DNA did not match her children's, DNA taken from her cervix did. I love goalie fights. It's like you guys have been standing 200 feet apart this entire time. How could you possibly have beef? Different color shirt bad. My problem is that I like boys in theory, but not in practice. So if I see a cute boy, I'm like, damn I would. But when faced with actually dating one, I'm just like, nah. So, I connected to the free Wi-Fi in Starbucks and airdropped this picture, and I swear, like 10 people screamed.